You know, it would be really, really cool to, they're just knocking George Galloway for coming out with these, sayings that he repeats that he's said before all the way, through when he was in Parliament and so forth. They've been knocking him on the mainstream TV, on the chat shows, but, those presenters, they're going on and on about, divisions in government or, the war in Gaza and all this and that. But we've got, look at this on YouTube. All they can give us is go on holiday. They've just got these holidays popping up, they've even got airport, get through security super quick, super fast. Express security at the airport when you go on holiday. Look at this. Look at these holidays going around the war zone. Spend money, go on holiday, have fun, have a laugh. Talk TV and GB News, really, they're kind of despicable in a way. A lot of those women presenters, I can see them, they would actually, if Jeff Bezos had an Amazon party, if he had a political party called Amazon, which policies were, more shopping, more online shopping, more coffee shops, the women would stand up there and, get voted. They're knocking Galloway when, what do they stand for? Look at these people. What do these people actually... what do these people stand for? These presenters really are the actual problem we've got with this country. It's not only kind of smut, it's not only shallow, it lacks intellectual understanding, it's just crap. That's why I like to call this guy Tony Crap, because he everything that he says, that's crap, that's crap. He literally creates every single thing. All he does is, say that's crap, that's crap, that's crap. But he is crap. And Starmer, Starmer's going on about the country. This woman here from Labour. This Labour woman, saying that Galloway is dividing people, Galloway is causing conflict. Actually, he's meant to be, he was Tony Blair who wanted to go to war. Tony Blair started a war when Galloway was opposed to it. The problem at the moment, and Rishi Sunak's just given like a number 10 speech when he's blaming the extremists and everyone for all the violence. The petitions committee in Parliament are completely criminal. The ministers have been enacting law which is deceptive, law which has sought to give them power and undermine our powers when we've actually got powers in law, that they've literally boarded up and blocked up, the petitions committee, which has an official right of appeal to the House of Commons. And they're literally, it's kind of like, almost like a sweet shop in a way. They're having their own dandy time in Parliament, inviting Merlin Sheldrake in to give evidence. And, we can pick and choose petitions even if they don't have 100,000 signatures. It's kind of like their own little toy shop, their own little sweet shop in the petitions committee, when it's a very, very, very serious court of appeal. It is a higher jurisdiction of appeal existing in the framework of England, a very serious one, not just on civil or criminal matters. I mean, Julian Assange's case actually involves worldwide security, and the armed forces. So, for example, with him being detained, it's the most important and critically serious casework you could put together, yet they design a form which isn't even fit for a 2-year-old. In fact, it's probably less fit for those presenters on GB News and Talk TV. It's actually not even fit. This woman here, they are complete fascists. They are sat in Parliament. Labour have got a woman, a chair of the Petitions Committee. They're lying about democratic function. They're abusing process. They had a chief Crown prosecutor who ignores 2 full acts of law to convict a woman who paints a wall, when those exact 2 acts of law are the acts which say you can paint walls and even describe it in great detail. The delusional criminality of these people, it's actually, it's not even close to Extinction Rebellion in terms of, it's beyond Extinction Rebellion. Some people are calling Extinction Rebellion like cultists, or they're brainwashing people. They've got people believing in their cause. I'm sorry, but these Labour Party MPs are, without a doubt, not only delusional and living in a world of fantasy, their status quo, their kind of pretend norm, which they've kind of believed in, and they actually saw it as this happy, go-lucky, buying cakes and buns and posting little nice letters in the post box with beautiful stamps on them, and, going for tea in the gardens, even if they're working class, popping to the corner shop for some milk and bread. These products have been absolutely destroying the human body. Fetuses being born without even developed proper faculties because they've got, vitamin E and D deficiencies, because, children are getting obese and evolving that way. Microbiomes are being destroyed, yet all they want to do is have tea and cakes, and we're all victims of it. The advertisements, they've been, Britain is booming. These women, what they're seeing is their teapot is cracked, and they can't come to terms with the fact that they'll have a court and they'll have police, and there'll be these naughty boys, and the policeman will have to chase them and smack their bottom and put handcuffs on them and put them in a cell, and they're the naughty ones, and they have a Crown prosecutor like Keir Starmer who gets the evidence and goes through these court procedures, and then, they've been very naughty, they have to go to the Salvation Army and make everyone more tea and cakes, or get put in prison, and then they'll behave again. Yet, the whole time, the real dangerous people have been allowed to form these huge, massive enterprises. They've been sat happy-go-lucky in councils. We're doing business today, we're doing business. Bang, 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 bang with the hammer in the chamber. There's another KFC being built, approved by Labour Council. This is normal. This is fine. Bang, 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 bang. Another Subway built. This is normal. This is fine. Look at this little drive-through. Isn't it neat? Isn't it tidy? When these industrial food complexes have been buying out pretty much all the businesses, strategizing against us, weakening the people, keeping us preoccupied in grimy factories making their widgets, keeping us busy with our heads down, tool making with Keir Starmer, while they have been very, very, very busy little bees taking over the world. And China, and not only keeping China's head down and behaving to their new social point system, with all cameras and eyes on everyone, you've got to behave properly. It's actually genocide. And little teapot lady cannot actually, a brain can't handle it. A mind cannot handle the concept that she has been lied to. And the little child who's grown up holding adults' hands and gone to the fair and gone out with mummy, and then as the child grows and their consciousness expands to understand the world, the real world, what a little girl cannot handle, a brain cannot handle the truth. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. The truth that always look on the bright side of life. Do-do, 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 do-do. Oh, little girl has seen the dark side of the moon. It exists. Yes, I'm sorry, little girl, but it isn't only naughty little schoolboys and working class thieves in Ashton-under-Lyne stealing candy from shop and breaking into cars. Oof, the ruffians, the ruffians. There are some very, very corrupt, criminally genius people, scientists making chemicals, new diseases, industry weapons, and they've not only been planning these things and getting money funded into them, they've been keeping us preoccupied and busy at the same time. Now, Keir Starmer cannot admit this because by breaking the status quo of the entire public, he will be ashamed and condemned for the truth, because the entire government, well, Rishi Sunak is right in the middle of the peck pit, really, with his World Economic Forum and his, globalist puppet. They're even trying to take over our rights. Blame it on the people, rising up when they have hijacked, manipulated and planned to obstruct fair democracy in the vote and get peer judgment through lawful due process, which we can do, attach evidence through lawful due process into that parliament and get these matters looked at professionally, when we have had the window boarded up and they have instead had tea and cakes in that parliament, having a dandy old time with Merlin Sheldrake or whoever they want to invite in for tea and cakes. Oh, isn't this nice? We're having a lovely time here, right? While the reality of it is quite the contrary. And what they want to do is, we'll have to there's something going on here. We better keep everyone calm. Let's slowly just creep into a bit of change. We can try get some fungi and biodiversity and rewilding. Shush, 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 You can't shush when there are these serious problems, because they actually are the cause and the fault, because firstly, they are corrupt. They have decided to take government for themselves, these main parties, and cheat. They are cheats and they are liars, there's no doubt about it. And then when everyone kicks off about it, they want to keep everyone calm. Don't worry, we'll all change, but we can't admit that we're wrong. No, there'll be uproar. Instead, we'll get the ecologists in, we'll get the new Department of Innovation and Technology. Even though Mark Zuckerberg, who clearly doesn't believe in forgiveness, he believes in block, 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 ban, ban, ban. Yes, we'll have more of that. We can block, 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 ban these ruffians. I don't really think little girl really, actually, truly yet believes that these people will and would replace mankind, the majority of human beings on this planet, with obedient androids who will follow commands and orders, and the rest of the humans are going to be under a very, very close watch with the social point system, particularly the scientists who are dealing with these very strange biological diseases which could, turn the leaders into super gods or kill them, so they'll have to be under very, very, very close watch scrutiny. Little girl needs to face the dark side of the truth. These very, very bad people. And it's not George Galloway. George Galloway is no evil scientist. He's no evil scientist, that's for sure. And he is no Jeff Bezos, I'll tell you that, or Bill Gates. So I don't know why they are so bitter and twisted. They need to get their little Crown Prosecution Service in order. And they need to get Parliament in order. A democratic parliament, yet Rishi Sunak's there, lying, blatantly lying through his teeth. Blame, blame, blame other people. Blame, blame, blame other people. When they are the ones, in fact, that they even sue the government, these people. You know, these people have even got their own special court if you affect their profits or take away their future profits or even affect their future profits. And they even sue the government, these people. Where's the suing them for, you know, there are special vitamins that they've got in Italy and France that could have saved us from COVID, you know, getting, you know, vitamin D or E into us very quickly when it usually takes a week to absorb it properly. And they didn't tell us about that. We wouldn't even really have needed the vaccines, you know. And then there's the whole David Cameron effigy, you know, taking Royal Mail from the public, putting the prices through the roof, you know, and the rest of it. What's happening is that these kind of stupid people who believe the world is kind of good and everyone's good except, you know, the odd naughty, you know, car thief or criminal, yet they don't actually understand the regime and how devious, intelligent masterminds have been taking them for a ride, you know, and keeping little girl in the dark. Keeping them in the light and not letting her go in the dark. And now she has seen the darkness and she's in denial of it. She can't handle the truth. And there are bigger and more important dangers on this planet than George Galloway, I can tell you that. And little girl needs to face the truth. You know, as evolved humans, you've got to be cautious about everything. You know, you don't evolve on this planet with, you know, woolly mammoths and, you know, so forth without being extremely overcautious. And I think that, you know, even be cautious of a teapot and a bun, basically. I don't think that Starmer and company can handle that buns are bad, basically. They still think that buns are good, sugar refinery is good, by a royal appointment, yes, appointment. And until she accepts that the sugar ain't all sugar, that the sugar is very bad and rotten, in fact, toxic and dangerous, in a very, very long-term diabolical strategy and plan, she's not going to get anywhere with this. And the status quo people now, the normal people are going through a very rude awakening where they've realised that all the goody-goody two-shoes aren't that goody two-shoes anymore. And they can't handle it. And in fact, after Crown Prosecution Service and police are also corrupt. And, you know, they couldn't handle that. They couldn't face that and handle it because it would break the system. And sometimes, you know, why live in a pretend world where you pretend everything is nice just because you want to see it as nice and you don't want to upset anyone, when the fact and truth is that it really isn't nice and it's really not good. And all I can say about the main stations like Talk TV, GB News and these stupid newspaper publishers, they are just devil's advocates who fan the flames. I mean, as long as they get the muses, as long as they can have a good laugh at it, you know, some of those presenters, I mean, I'm amazed that Jeff Bezos hasn't got an Amazon party with mums, you know, because, you know, the way that these women are going, Galloway, he's just got elected for Rochdale, but he's saying give it to Gaza, give it to Gaza. You know, the local council's going to look after Rochdale. The local council is there to look after Rochdale, right? The local council looks after Rochdale. That's the point in a local council. That's why you elect people onto a local council. What does someone in Parliament represent? He represents an area in Parliament for the whole country, not for the local area, for England, for the country. The councillors are there for the local council. You'd think that these muppets actually think George Galloway has just been elected to be the chair of the local council. You know, he's been elected to Parliament. You know, what has Barry Sheeman done for our area other than be the tap to turn on to flood the money in so the council can afford to, completely redo the place repeatedly over and 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 over until there's no left of it, until we don't even know who we are or where we're from, except some super Japanese space station interface when, in fact, dig a hole to you might as well tunnel to China. I think Barry Sheeman would be happy if we actually, never mind the Stonehenge tunnel, we could just dig a tunnel to China, a big hole in the floor, and that would, save the problems of airplane travel, because there won't be anything left of our town anyway when they're finished. It could just be a big tunnel to China with a big train coming up through the middle of the earth.